Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I've already done a video that I will link down in the comments section. It will be a pinned comment comparing the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe to the 2024 Land Rover Defender because so many people said it looks like a Defender, but other people besides the Defender are saying the Santa Fe looks like the Ford Flex. And I happened to find one. So I do want to say a special thanks to my friend Matt here at Yoakum Toyota. They had one on the used car side of the lot. So, what are the similarities and what are the differences? Well, I will say this. If I was going to say that the new Santa Fe looks more like another vehicle, probably more so would I say it looks like the Ford Flex than the Land Rover Defender. Let's change up our position here a little bit, park them side by side, and do a little bit more of an in-depth comparison. From this head-on angle, you can see that the Ford Flex sits a little lower and has a little bit wider stance. Both do have a very boxy design overall. In fact, I would say that the Santa Fe is probably a little more boxy than is the Flex. One thing that is going to be similar, to a degree at least, you have the word Flex here on the front of the hood as you have the Hyundai logo. Now there really is no similarity in the overall design of the hoods, as you can see. Pretty easy to see that from this angle. And you don't have an F for your turn signal indicators right here as you have with the H over there on the Hyundai. So that in itself, not a big deal, just something that's interesting. Now, as far as the overall design of the front end goes, very little that's going to be similar. Maybe the lower grills on both models, but you can see that flickering daytime running light there in the center of the upper area of the front end. And that flickering effect is only on camera. It's not really happening. Would be interesting if it were, but you probably wouldn't want that on your vehicle in real life because you might have someone think you're trying to impersonate a police officer. So that's why that doesn't really happen. But other than that, not a lot of similarities. One thing that you'll definitely find that you have on the Santa Fe that is not on the Flex is going to be what we have right here. And those are the active shutters. Those open and close for a variety of reasons. The vehicle doesn't actually have to be in motion for that to happen. And the design of the front fenders, you have a perfectly rounded shape here with the Flex, but not quite the rounded shape, at least not around this area as you do with the Flex when we look over here to the Santa Fe. And obviously the side view mirrors, pretty easy to see. There's not a lot of similarity there. The only place where I think I can really see it from this particular angle is going to be the side windows. I definitely do see some interesting similarities where that is concerned. I think that's probably the most that I see. Now, let's take a quick walk back here to the rear and see what the similarities are. You can see that you actually have a larger rear window on the Ford Flex than you do on the Santa Fe. That could have its advantages, although you can see well out of both. And obviously the taillight design, the overall design of the rear, very different from one another. While both are flat, they definitely don't have the same design. In fact, you don't even have a rear roof spoiler back here in this area on the Flex as you do on the Santa Fe. And I don't know how well I can show you. Let's see if we can walk far enough back here. The Flex does have a little bit more overall length. Maybe you can see that from this vantage point. And because I know if I don't do it, somebody's going to ask about it. So let's take a look at the interior, starting with the Ford Flex. There's not going to be a lot of similarities here. The Flex, obviously several years old, so it's going to look a lot more dated than what you're going to see with the Hyundai Santa Fe. However, one big difference that you'll see that really is going to jump out to a lot of people. With the Santa Fe, you have a shifter instead of being down here on the center console, more of a conventional style shifter. It's actually in this area. Let's take a look at exactly what that is. And the shifter here on the Santa Fe is going to be right here. Not unusual for Hyundai. There are several models that have this particular style of shifter. You just twist that area forward to go into drive and obviously back to go into reverse. Pretty easy to deal with, pretty easy to figure out. I don't think it should be a surprise that you have a far more modern look and feel to the interior here than what you have with the Ford Flex, being that these models are so many years apart. And one reason you also won't find the shifter in the position right here with the center console is because, well, there's just no room for it. You have a wireless charging pad, just one in this particular case. You can't have one on each side, but you have that. And something else you definitely won't find with the Ford Flex is what you find here, the UV sanitizer, which is used to sanitize anything that will fit inside of that area. So kind of an interesting thing, but tell me what you think. Which model do you like most? And now you can tell me, do you believe that the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe is similar to the Ford Flex? I do see some similarities on the exterior, but not a lot. I can see where people would come up with that more than I could see with the Land Rover Defender. Tell me what your thoughts are. I'm always curious to know. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai and Yoakum Toyota for loaning me these two models so I could park them next to each other and give you a true comparison to see if they really look alike, as so many people have said. And I also want to say a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That always helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.